Hi Anthony, this is David Gould. I just wanted to get a closer look at the SE model of the Rav4. As you can see here, the wheels, the larger wheels, how they fill out the wheel wells. And that's what those larger wheels really are accomplishing overall when you see the styling. For the color, it is black under normal circumstances. But if you look, maybe the lighting will show you the blue and the green hues that'll come out of it. I almost use a term like peacock. But you can see it's not really a straight black. On a bright sunny day, it's going to pop up. You're going to get the color to pop out. It's beautiful. This is called Galactic Aqua. I didn't name it. That's what Toyota uses for the colors. If we come around to the back here, you can see the styling. This is the SE with the all-wheel drive. And as we talked about on the inside here, I can use the touch button in the back or the touchpad to make the power lift gate open up on the inside. It is a very large area on the inside. You can see a bit of a mess in here at the moment. It's going to have the carpeted floor mats as well as the all-weather mats. So you've got both options covered along with the tunnel cover. Seats do fold down flat. It's a little bit dark here. Let's see if we can see it from the other side. Try to get enough light in there to be able to see that the seat is folded down totally flat on the inside versus the upright. It is black, so it's a little bit dark here. It's nighttime with me taking these pictures. This particular one does have the cross rails up on the top. And we can see the sunroof as well on the inside. Coming through the inside, you can see details up through the panels. The stitching and getting close enough is red along the inside. Very nicely done. LED headlights. You can actually see the difference in the color between the bottom fog lights, which is a standard halogen. Looks kind of an orange color versus the top ones. And it's a little hard to see right now, but you can see a very straight line on my jacket here. That's from the LED lighting. And it would be too bright if it was sticking up where the customer's eyes would catch it from the other side. There's a little bit of a honeycomb pattern to the grille up in the front here. That is also part of the package that comes along to this. It does have all those special features that we talked about on the inside on the telephone there for the automatic stopping and whatnot. I know not high on your priority list, but it is with the car, and you will kind of expect these things to be in cars in not that long of the future. So once again, Toyota's run a little bit ahead of the curve. It does help with resale value for our leases to have these features in the cars. And the good thing for you as a consumer, within this first year or two, you're not absorbing the entire cost of what it costs to put it into the car. Right now we're looking at a lane keep button. It's my finger right here over on the left hand side. Lane keep is going to be that one that's watching from the mirror up on the top. That's a camera there. Now out on the front by the emblem, as I walk past it, that's where the radar is. So you actually have two systems that work together and kind of complement each other. There's your all-wheel drive button off button right there. In the event that you wanted to turn it on or off, you can do that at the point. And now when it's off, it still would go in if the wheels slipped. But more importantly, if you wanted to lock it on, and normally it would have to start to slip before it would come on. Your power liftgate open button is down on the bottom here. I think I heard you mention Bluetooth controls. When you're driving, you'll be able to very conveniently move across. You can give it verbal commands by pressing on the touch button, something like call home or etc. Mode button is your AM/FM controls for the radio. Aux hook and hanging up, and other controls are off the top here, volume. On the right hand side, we've got more controls for this area right in here. This is a dash control area, and you can see that it's going to give us, in this case, a visual that says, hey, you left your back tailgate open. Probably not the best thing to go take off out of the garage yet. You rip it off. Other controls off of here are going to be our tripometer. We can see up inside there. There's the radar cruise control. We can press that button there, and when it's ready, right up here, it would lock in. It would say radar ready, and it would lock in on whatever car was out in front of us, giving us that consistent space in between the two areas. Pretty cool. Automatic headlights, you're going to want that on our settings probably, but if you turn them on, they're on. Auto is right there. Obviously right now there's too much light around me to turn the headlights on, so it's going to put them off. Up on top here, we have our hazards. That's your typical three-ways. And over to the right, that's vehicle stability control off. That button's way over to the right because they really don't want you to turn it off. That's one of the ones that would automatically straighten out the car and correct it for you in the event that it got slippery. Maybe coming off of a ramp, hitting a slick area, black ice, things like that. I know you, again, may not have a huge problem with these things, but this is going to be things that the cars are going to have. Now right here, I put my foot on the brake and I pressed the start button. I just turned it off. We'll turn it back on again. And that's going to light up our area back on the inside here, okay? And with this, we're going to be able to see the radio systems. Our apps button is going to tell us what's actually going on inside the car. It's going to say, hey, you're on. And then in this particular case, we can see that this one's going to have the cell phone driven or mobile driven application in the choice if you decide to put it in there. You don't have to put it in, it can be put in. Down below you have your controls for your heating, automatic climate control on each side of the car. That's a pretty nice one as well. That's going to give you control for your driver to have one temperature, your passenger to have another. The sync button, the one to the right here, that's if you're by yourself in the car. It's going to allow you to be able to control both sides at the same time. And what's braking sync is what I just did there. See, if you watch here, your temperatures are moving together with one button. That way you're not, fighting with the system when you're by yourself in the car. You just snap that button right there or start to spin the other one, and that would automatically brake sync. Get you set up. This is a nice one right here. If you have any issues, this is your microfilter here for pollen and pollen control. If you have anybody who's allergic, that's a nice feature to have for the car as well, okay? So a good one. I don't use it every day, but in the event that you had a passenger, somebody in the car, I have had circumstance where somebody was sneezing like crazy and literally with the windows up, turning that system on, it was 30 seconds for the front seat, 60 seconds approximately for the back seat, and they could tell the difference. It really does a good job of knocking out the very finest of pollen and whatnot. Now, as we talked about on the phone, one of the big advantages I feel of these cars, 6-speed transmission versus the CVTs. CVT would only have one gear. See, one gear is not going to work for an SUV because, you load it up. I know I would load it up with that much room in the back seat. I mean, we got tons of room behind us here. If I have that much room and I load it up, CVT is going to have a hard time being able to accelerate under weight, and it's also hard on the transmission, where here, I'm going to be able to bring the car down, I go to D and the car just drives itself like normal, or I can come across a sequential. Now when I do that, watch what's going to happen up here with my shifter. I can then begin to use action that looks like this. Forward, forward, down, down, and I can actually shift the gears by doing that. I'm moving it up. I have 6 speeds. I'm moving it back down, and I'm going to go down to first. Now, once we get that idea down pat, we can now take a look, because this is the SE. The other models won't have these features. It's a little hard to see here right now, but I'm actually looking at paddle shifters on each side of the car. The paddle shifter now is going to do the same thing I just did. Now, see, 2, 3, I'm pulling back with my hand against the paddle shifter, and I'm up to 6. And if I do the opposite side, 5, 4, 3, 2, watch my hands upside down, but I'm doing it, 1 on the other side. So you can actually drive the car with your hands on the steering wheel like a gaming controller, if you would. One of the gaming racing games that we see with the videos. You can now do that off the steering wheel of the car. So I'm doing this side right now, downshifting, 2, 1, and then I'm going to switch hands with the phone. Up shifting, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now, clearly the car's sitting still right now, so none of that's going to really work until we start driving. But it is a great feature, and nice to know that there are 6 speeds in there, right? Technically, for somebody that drives like yourself, first gear is a lower gear. It's not going to stay on first gear very long. It's going to be just there for power. Then you're going to have, so you'll be taking off roughly in second gear most of the time. Then you'll have your 5th and 6th gears, they're your overdrive gears, based on your speeds. Because right now, 70 miles an hour is legal in Pennsylvania on the turnpike. That's going to be another overdrive gear now, up by that 6th gear. So it's going to help with gas mileage. All right, I know I've gone over an awful lot of stuff pretty quick here, and there's tons more to go over when you get in here on Saturday. We're looking forward to meeting you directly and in person. Look, we even got some specialty things going on up on the top here for doing your garage door at the house. If you have a garage door opener, that's home link. We can adjust those. So again, lots and lots and lots of stuff going on around you. We'll look forward to earning your business. Anthony, again, you have my cell phone number. This is David Gould From Sloan Toyota Philadelphia, I'm looking forward to meeting you again on Saturday. Have a great evening.